Good evening. In a previous presentation, I have talked about solve linear inequalities using the addition and the subtraction properties of inequality. Now I will talk about using the division and multiplication properties. First of all, let's understand what are these two properties. For example, if we have an inequality which is A is less than B, and we have a positive number C, so C is greater than 0. So if we divide the left side of the inequality by this value, which is C, so the right side should be also divided by the same value. See that the inequality sign stays the same. And regarding the multiplication, if we multiply the left side by this value, which is C, so the right side should be also multiplied by this same value, which is C, and the inequality sign stays the same. Now, if A is greater than B and we have a positive C, so again, if we divide the left side of the inequality by C, so the right side should be the same, and see that the inequality sign stays the same. And regarding the multiplication, if we multiply the left side of the inequality by this value, which is C, so we should do the same for the right side of the inequality, and the inequality sign stays the same. Now, if we have an inequality which is A less than B, and we have a value of C which is a negative value, so C is less than 0, then if we divide the left side by this value, so we should do the same for the right side, but you should reverse the direction of the inequality. So instead of less than, we write greater than. And regarding the multiplication property, if we multiply the left side by this value, which is C, which is negative value, so we should do the same for the right side, and we should reverse the inequality. Again, if A is greater than B and we have a negative value, which is C, so A divided by C, and we should now here reverse the inequality, so it becomes less than B divided by C, and for the multiplication, A times C is less than B times C. So in general, if we have inequality and we multiply or divide this inequality by a positive number, the inequality stays the same, while if we multiply or divide by a negative value, the sign of the inequality should be reversed. Let's use these properties to solve these examples of inequalities. Say, first of all, we need to solve the inequality, which is 8x is greater than 72. So what we have here, we have an inequality. At the left side, we have the variable x, but with coefficient of 8. And at the right side, we have a constant number, which is 72. So we need to keep the coefficient of the variable x to be 1. So simply we can divide both sides by 8. And see, because we divide by a positive number, so the inequality stays the same. So the left side becomes 8x divided by 8, and the inequality stays same, it stays greater, and the right side we have 72 divided by 8. Now we can simplify. For the left side we have only x, And for the right side, we have a division of 72 by 8, so we have 9. So x is greater than 9. So any value of the variable x which is greater than 9 is part of the solution of the above inequality. Simply we can express the solution in interval notation. So we say that the interval of the solution is starting from 9 toward positive infinity. See that 9 is not part of a solution. So we draw parentheses beside the number 9. We can graph the solution on the number line because the inequality is greater than, so the arrow of the solution should be oriented toward the right side, starting from number 9 till the positive of infinity. See that 9 is not part of a solution, so we draw an open circle around this number. Let's solve this inequality. Minus 5m is less than or equal 65. So as you see here, the left side of the inequality contains the variable but with a minus 5 coefficient. So we need to convert the coefficient to becomes 1. So simply we can divide both sides of the inequality by minus 5 and see, because we divide by a negative number, so the inequality should reverse. So by dividing by minus 5, the left side becomes minus 5m divided by minus 5. And see here the inequality reverse. So instead of less than or equal, it becomes greater than or equal. And for the right side of the inequality, it is 65 divided by minus 5. Now we can simplify. So the left side contains only m, and the right side is the division of 65 by minus 5, so it is minus 13. So the solution are any value of m which is greater than or equal minus 13. Now we can express the solution in interval notation. So we say that any value of the variable in the interval starting from minus 13 till positive infinity is a solution. And see that minus 13 is part of the solution. So we draw this bracket. And regarding the graphing solution on the number line, the arrow is oriented to the right side, starting from minus 13 till plus infinity. Let's solve this inequality. 9 divided by 4 times y is less than or equal 36. So as you see here, the left side contains the variable y, but with a coefficient of 9 divided by 4. Simply we can convert this coefficient to becomes 1 by multiplying it by the reciprocal, which is 4 divided by 9. So simply now we can multiply both sides by 4 divided by 9 and see, because we multiply the inequality by a positive number, so the inequality stays the same. So the left side becomes 4 divided by 9 times 9 divided by 4 times y, and the inequality stays same. And the right side, we multiply 36 by 4 times divided by 9. We can now simplify. For the left side, this 9 cancels with this line, and this 4 cancels with this 4. So the remaining is only the variable y. And the right side, simply we can divide this 9 by 9, so we have 1. and 36 divided by 9, we have 4. So 4 times 4 is equal to 16. So these are the solutions. So any variable of y which is less than or equal 16 is part of the solution. Now simply we can express the solution in an interval notation. So the interval starting from 16 toward minus infinity are the solution for the above inequality. See that number 16 is part of the solution, so we draw this bracket. Now simply we can graph the solution on the number line. Because the inequality is less than, so the arrow is oriented to the left direction, started from 16 till minus infinity. See that because 16 is part of the solution, so we draw a closed circle around it. That's all about how to solve inequality using the multiplication and the division properties. Thanks a lot for your watching. Goodbye.